Shalom, everyone. It's in the morning now here, and I'm making this quick video just to reveal something to you. And by the way, it's the 29th of February 2016. It's a leap year this year, so happy birthday to you, or congratulations if this is your birthday. Well, you only have it once every 4 years, but I just want to bring that out. First, now let me continue with the video. Lately, this adapt there was this adaptation done by Facebook. Previously, you could only like or comment or report a post on Facebook. Now, there are more options that are added to the like. Well, you can look for it yourself. Past years, there's been a huge demand for a dislike button. Well, Facebook knew about it, Mark Zuckerberg knew about it, but he didn't add the dislike button. I'm not going to make this long. I'm going to explain to you why they didn't do it. And there's a good reason behind it. Listen, people that don't rely upon Christ, they are in darkness. And one thing of being in darkness is that people have this wild need, this uncontrollable need to be validated. People want to feel affirmed. It basically goes like this. They have these mental constructions in their mind that they use to project their unmet needs and expectations upon their environment. And everything that collides and falls into their categories, they affirm by liking it and they feel attached to it. Things that in their environments that cannot align with their categories, they act out against it, either violently by attacking or by insulting or by just ignoring, pretending it doesn't exist, or by in some kind of way devaluing it. The same they do with human beings, with liking and disliking someone. So this urge for a dislike button, it reveals the violent desire of those people to act out their hidden pain and their hidden frustrations. Now, what happens when you permit someone the space to act out? And once they've begun acting out, it's it's almost impossible to stop them. Because the acting out will make them worse than they were. And the acting out is contagious that other people will also act out against that individual acting out. So within a short span of time, you will have bloody, violent rivalries and personal wars between people, and that's going to escalate into bloodshed and massacre. Before you had social media, like before Facebook even existed, before the Second World War and till antiquity, you had mob violence, people lynching a victim in a village. And because you had no social media, most of those crimes remained hidden. You see, now that you have social media and the police officer just shoots someone out of anger, people can see it and there's evidence worldwide about it. In earlier ages, most of those crimes went undetected. But now that you have the internet, people can be anonymous. So now they have a tool available to act out their hidden pain continuously. And now, what would happen if Facebook would introduce and enforce the dislike button? People are going to act out against other people on Facebook. What's going to happen? Those people that are victimized by the acting out, they will feel hurt, and they're going to act out that hurt. So the violence is going to escalate. And listen, even without a dislike button, there has been murders, crime crime, other forms of crime, there has been social uprising and social unrest that came as a consequence of social media. That used social media encountered something on social media that was not in line with their category, so they acted out. It sounds very stupid and even childish, but that's how people in darkness are. They act out. And they seldom ever want to acknowledge their violence because they're not willing to give up the idols in their hearts. So they will project the blame onto someone else, or they will play mind games on the one confronting them, or they will flat out murder the one revealing the truth to them because they don't want to give up their fantasies. A fantasy does not have to be a fiction, it can be something that's real, but where vital information is left out. You see, now you understand why in schools they demand conformity and uniformity. That's why on many high schools they demand the children and the pupils, the teenagers, to wear uniforms. Uniforma, two Latin words. Uni means single, forma is a form or a state of being. So they want everyone to conform to one state of being. Why? Because if everyone has conforms to one state of being, then there's no diversity, so there's no differences. There are no differences, and because there are no differences, there's nothing to be frightened of. There's nothing to be offended by, and there's nothing they can take offense of, and there's nothing to act out against, because if you act out against one pupil who wears uniform, it's the same as acting out against everyone, because everyone is part of the same uniform mindset. That's why they enforce uniforms on many high schools. Now, I'm not saying that that when students wear uniforms in high school, that there is no violence. There is violence. Yet, it has a psychological impact that will reduce, the urge to act out. By the way, there are more actors playing into this, but I'm just revealing onto you what the intention and the mindset is behind schools enforcing uniforms. What does this have to do with Facebook? Well, as I mentioned before, when you give people the option to act out, they will. And once they have begun, the anger that they are repeating in their acting out will only make them worse, and they will have more victims. So a dislike button will cause a lot of unnecessary drama and possibly a lot of murder and bloodshed. So because of that, they did not give you Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, also the head of the owner of Facebook, he does not permit you to act out your condemnation against others. That's why when you post something on Facebook, it does not have to be nudity or something against the law. It can be that you just post a picture of, of an urban site somewhere in the city. But it can be that someone acts out against a photograph because you have a lot of women wearing short skirts or high heels. Well, that individual has something against women dressing like that, so he's going to report the photo and he's going to act out against it. If you put a dislike button, you can put a dislike. And you might think, okay, he just dislikes it. No. Once he can do that, he will do it more often. Okay? That's why am I saying this and repeating this in this video? Because I want you to think about things. Often, folks just take things for granted. Don't do that. And so, this is what I want to say in this video. Facebook does not introduce a dislike button because they know how people in darkness operate, and they know the potential consequences. And listen, look at this, folks. If Facebook would give in to the demand of the people, of the Facebook users, to introduce a dislike button, And let's say the dislike button is introduced, and within a few months, a lot of crime increases, and there's a lot of violence and hurt, and there's a lot of massacres. Who are they going to blame? Facebook. Because as I mentioned before, people in darkness seldom, if not never, want to admit their own violence. They will project it onto someone else, or they will act out in full naked rage against the life source that exposes their darkness. Well, that being said, you all, be blessed and remain in prayer.